And I wanted to start this with saying I am mad.
Mad?
Do you know why I'm mad?
Why are you mad?
Couple things. The first thing, this is probably the thing I'm the most upset about, is I just started watching season 2 of The Mandalorian yesterday.
Yeah.
And I got through 2 episodes, and it's so good.
I don't know what 2 episodes is. I literally ran them back to back, so I don't know what's what. I just finished the whole thing.
Then I got busy and I couldn't. Then I just was like, you know what? I got some time to kill. I'm going to watch more today. And the reason I'm mad is because my internet is running so slow right now, it could not stream.
Oh no, that's so frustrating.
I tried it for about 30 minutes and I watched 5 minutes of episode 3.
Yeah, that sounds like my old internet using Disney Plus when it first came out. Oh my god, my internet did not like Disney Plus. It would do that, exactly.
So then I thought, like, I can't watch Netflix. Nope, Netflix wouldn't stream either. I'll try Hulu. Hulu didn't work either. Do you know what worked? YouTube. Which, I mean, I feel like I've watched all of YouTube at this point.
Do you know what I spend most of my time watching is fucking Snapchat TV?
Ooh.
Oh, the channels and shit on there?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I get lost in it.
And you were telling me about Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, he has a show, I guess, a channel. I don't know what you call these things, but he has one episode out so far of ice carving. And I guess every episode is going to be like him doing something different.
I need to find this channel because that sounds right up my alley.
It's pretty great. Great.
Ryan Reynolds is doing a lot of really cool things right now in like movies and just real world. Like, you know, he owns a phone company.
What phone company?
Mint Mobile.
I've never even heard of Mint.
They're very small. They just got into, the Midwest not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah, but like it's super cheap. He bought it specifically so he can make cheap phone plans for people.
Huh.
And it's good. I just use way too much data to ever use that because they don't offer unlimited. But it is like stupid cheap everywhere else.
Yeah, I have a wicked deal called for Freezies because my dad pays for my phone.
Oh, hey, same. I also am on free.
Oh, look at us go! High five! Yay!
Hey, thanks, parents, for taking care of that for us.
Hashtag spoiled.
Hashtag, loved parents.
Hey, hashtag fortunate, okay?
Hashtag best mom. Incredibly
appreciative. Hashtag amazing father. So,
Hashtag please don't leave us.
We're here to celebrate.
Exactly. You realize what couldn't be seen by other people of our shenanigans if we didn't have phones and data to post on our social media?
Man.
They'd be missing out.
I wonder how people created content previously. They must have done a lot of writing, a lot of photography, maybe like journaling. Like that's really what like journalists would do. They would take photography. They would take photos and write things about what they're observing and what they're literally journaling about.
Did you know you said they'd write photos?
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, that higher state. We're all in the same.
We're that higher state of mind.
We're here.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Anywho, it's just.
And now it just seems like anybody with a camera phone can make a TikTok and become viral, and then all of a sudden I'm a professional TikToker.
It's almost like a recreation of your 15 minutes of fame, but it's not 15 minutes anymore. It's like 15 seconds because it's so fleeting. Like you go viral once and you only are remembered. Do you remember that person that did that thing in that one video? Do you remember it went like
that person, that one thing in the one video?
There's usually no name. There's no like specific orientation, but like anymore, you can get that information off of people. Like it's easy because like what we're doing, like we're communicating virtually now.
Yeah.
Because COVID requires it, but it's pretty fascinating.
That is cool. I really wish... Oh, actually, before I get on my next topic, speaking of TikTok, I got banned from TikTok for a little bit. So remember that video I posted?
For my peach? Is it for the peach?
No, it sadly wasn't for the peach.
Oh, what was it?
It was the video I showed you that the sex scene between Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron.
That's right.
So it got removed, but then I put in an appeal, and it got re-added because they'd realized they messed up. But then last couple days, I was trying to post videos, and everything kept failing. And I'm like, why won't you post? And then I saw a notice saying I've been temporarily banned from posting videos until the 10th due to too many. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the word. Too many
offenses?
Yeah, too many offenses, not following our
community guidelines.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you mean the video you took down and then you reapproved for me? That's too many times, and that's one video. That's all it was. So now I can't post until the 10th, and I've made like 5 TikToks that my public
That's
does not get to see.
basically like putting baby in the corner and then being like, okay, baby, you can at least turn around, but you can't leave the corner
yet. You can look at the cake, just don't touch
there.
it. But see, like, stuff like that. But then, like, and I don't mean this in any sort of offense at all, but there are like half-naked people on TikTok that can post daily, and I post a movie, guideline sex scene, and it gets removed, and I can't post it for a while.
Where'd you find the clip?
I took the clip because I was watching the movie one day.
Oh. Well, that could also be considered copyright.
I mean, that's fair.
You don't comment that.
But there's also literally a bunch of TikTok channels that I saw.
That's the thing. Like, that's what I don't understand about, like, copyright and trademarking and, like...
Oh, it's a big issue.
Infringing, like, using this sound and this, that, or that. I was at Dance Today, and... excuse me, I was asking about, like, how it works with posting our videos to social media, because apparently you have to have, like, a license.
You have a license to just post videos, or like post dancing videos? To
use the music and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So that it stays within your video, because otherwise if you post it, it's most likely that Facebook will edit your video and then make it just completely no sound.
Oh, I didn't know Facebook started doing that now.
Yeah.
Wow.
The video that we posted to the page, it's why we don't have, like, real music playing, because Facebook would otherwise just take it down, so it's a silent video.
Wow.
And what's the point when you're dancing?
That is true.
We need something to dance to.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to look real creepy if you're just dancing to silence.
Anyway,
so yeah, that's the other thing I'm mad about, is being banned from TikTok until the 10th.
That was something I was also thinking about. Yeah, that sucks. The 10th, how much longer is that?
That's like...
damn, that's almost like... That's a half a fucking week from now.
Yeah, and it's still been days since I've been able to post, so it's been going on for a while, which is stupid.
Well,
but anyway,
I still haven't ever posted on TikTok.
You need to.
It's fine.
I'm actually very surprised you haven't made like one video.
Well, I would really... especially because the studio is like officially closed. I feel like I owe it to myself to finally start being forward active. Proactive. There we go. That'll work. Hello, vocabulary. To actually do dance stuff, put together combos, and record videos. And
you've been talking about that for a long time.
No, I talk about a lot of ideas, and I never follow through with shit. And here we are, actually following through with one of the ideas we've talked about. And
it's only been like maybe half a year later, but
there's no the problem is there's no official way to start. You just kind of gotta jump in and feel it out and just figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Like I told you, I finally downloaded Masterclass. I also downloaded what's it called, Audacity. And I literally have not opened it since I downloaded it, because I don't understand anything about it, and I was hoping that Masterclass might give me a little bit of insight, but so far it's not really very specific. It's a very application based, you have to have base knowledge of this program to understand, fully comprehend what's happening in these videos. Logically I understand, I comprehend it, so I think it'll help as I explore Audacity, but I would like to know exactly what I'm doing, so I am not wasting my time teaching myself maybe incorrectly or missing things that I should know, basics. I don't know if there's such thing as basics, everybody does things different, so.
Right.
I don't know if there's such thing as basics. You know, like everybody does things different. So, anyway, so yeah, that's the only thing I have to say about that. But, yeah,
That's kind of how I feel with Skillshare, because I've had it for almost 2 months now and haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
But I paid for a year already, so I might as well.
Do you also have to pay for it a full year up front?
Yes.
So I didn't realize that about Masterclass. So
Oh,
the
no.
process was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of
great.
those. It's one of those commitment things where like you can't.
It's fine though, because like the first night when I was setting up my account, I was like, oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. Like list. Like I put a ton of shit potentially to do on my, like, not even music based, like writing and photography and like all sorts of fucking things. So I'm curious to see like how each person that is hosting a class, like how they teach their craft, because I signed up for it for one particular class for one particular person, thinking that it was going to be something else that it's not. So now I'm really curious to see what the rest of it is.
You know, I really wanted to, like, that was actually one of my goals this weekend, was to open Skillshare and actually, like, look over classes, because I want to learn how to edit videos, combine those words together, vidit, and, yeah, like, learn more about, you know, music, recording, and engineering, but, like, that, I definitely don't have the computer or the equipment to do something like that, but, you know, at least get my foot in the door, learn about it, so when I go and record music, I can feel more a part of the process. So yeah, that's but no, this is actually the last reason I'm upset right now. I've been seeing more and more of those black license plates, you know, like everyone's getting them. I even got one.
I feel like they're just going to move to that as the base plate and just call it a day.
It's great. But like some of the stuff I read on people's plates is really fucking stupid,
like what?
But also really fucking clever.
Like what?
So, like today, I saw a couple, but there was one that just literally was 6 Fs. Just. So, I mean, like, what person was like, man, I really just want to have that. There was also one that was SEE 8008. And I'm mad that it took me that longer than it should have to realize what that was.
It was what?
SEE 8008. What do we do in a calculator? You type in some numbers, turn it upside down.
That's hilarious.
It's C-boob. And I was like, that's great. I appreciate that one.
Yeah.
And then...
It's boobies.
Yes.
It's boobies backwards.
It is.
I love it.
Things we learned at school that we actually remember. But
useful things in life. You're never going to have a calculator in your pocket.
They fucking lied.
They had
so
no
that
fucking
was a
idea.
fucking lie.
Not even a lie. They just had no idea. They had no idea.
None
they
of us had
limited
any
their
idea.
own comprehension. Can you believe that? Your own fucking teacher taught you to limit your comprehension of what your reality could be. It is absolutely
They were limiting
incredible.
us.
Yes, they were.
How dare they?
My fucking math teacher told me that the sun cannot shine and it rain at the same time. And I'm sitting here thinking, bitch, then how do you get a rainbow?
Oh god, don't even get me started on days where like it was sunny, I didn't see a cloud in the sky, but I saw rain. I'm like, is the world broken?
Literally, I was walking out to my car one day, and I walk outside of the building, like leaving on my lunch break from work. And I walk outside the building, and the sun is shining, and there's like clouds in the sky, and I get in my car, and I'm like unloading my shit, and drip, 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 drip. I'm like, the fuck? I'm looking up and there's like a cloud above me and the sun is shining behind it and there's literally like raindrops trickling from this cloud and then it just stopped.
Just little cloud, just, you know.
It was just a few drops. That was it. It was so bizarre. Like, I am so baffled the number of times that I am so aware that it's raining with the sun shining because my 6th grade math teacher, I'm sorry, Mrs. Nash, but dang, how untrue could that be?
Oh my god. But the last play I saw today, which I thought was fucking dumb but also clever, was just Red Van.
Was it on a red van?
No, it was blue.
It was a van, though?
It was.
Damn.
I'm like, man, either you did that ironically, or...
Maybe.
Or they're colorblind and they got screwed.
Ooh, that could be. They could be colorblind.
They could have got...
Maybe it's to make people question themselves. Is it blue or is it red?
Kind of like the dress. Kind of like
yeah.
That dress was white and gold. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure it was white and gold. Did you ever see the shoe?
The shoe? No, I don't think I ever saw the shoe.
It's like pink and white. Or like
no, wait. Yes, I remember. I'm sorry. Yep,
something like
I remember that. I think I remember it being pink and white.
That's how I remember it. I don't remember the...
I remember going into a bar and with a phone in my hand with a picture of that dress around the time that it was popular, and just going up to random people like, what color is this? And just getting a consensus of the entire bar. And then at one point, the entire bar was getting into it. They're like, no, it's fucking black and gold. Or there's a black and blue. And people are like, no, it's fucking white and gold. Are you on crack? Like, that was the big divide of our time at that time.
First world problems.
Right?
Then here we are.
We had no idea that years later this shit would happen.
It was literally the trickle effect. It was just the ripple effect, rather. It grew and grew and spread throughout, and the divide just manipulated through all facets of culture, and all of a sudden we have this genuine divide that no one can agree with each other, so they just rely on themselves and only but themselves.
So...
You don't know me!
And tonight's musical guest is Uncommon Megs. Follow her on Instagram at Asian Mego. Oh my god, though. I can believe it. But I also do believe that the world started going to shit when Harambe died.
No, it was way before that.
Well, I mean, like, it became more noticeable, because that year, when that gorilla died...
Just like the racism movement didn't take place again, really.
Oh, no,
until George Floyd died.
Yeah. I mean, it actually sparked it.
But the truth is it may have sparked the uproar, but it's always been there.
Oh, no, yeah. You're absolutely right.
It's just so silent, and people face it every day, and they're afraid to talk about it because they face backlash about it. And when you rise in great numbers, it typically has an effect, right? We have seen a lot of good things come out of those movements. Mm-hmm. But in the same right, it doesn't equate when you ensue violence on other people to get a point across. When we attack our own people, that's different. When we attack the people that are standing for us, when you invade federal grounds.
Yeah, the fact that, like, that riot,
it's so hard to even put to words how I feel about that, because I'm actually embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so embarrassed because I'm a daughter of veterans, and I can't believe that anyone who says they stand for their country would do something like that, let alone admit that they didn't vote. They didn't even bother to vote.
Oh, yep, you told me that. And they were throwing a fit over a election fraud, quote unquote, that they didn't even vote.
That fit. Yeah, I don't understand the logic. I've always been a believer that if you're not going to choose to exercise your right to vote, then you don't really have a right to give an opinion on the outcome of the whole process, because that just means you don't want to participate. And if you don't want to participate, then your opinion about the outcome should not be so passionate that you turn around and say, well, now I have an opinion that I want to actually stand for. Like,
right.
If you had an opinion before, you should have an opinion now. If you didn't have one, you should have one now. Like, everyone should stand for themselves and not be afraid to voice that. But also understand that you're going to receive opposing feedback. And whether it may be nice or mean or, you know, just inappropriate for any what reason, you shouldn't lash back. It's so hard to do because people want to react and be like, what the fuck is your problem? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, we can't come back at people like that because it just incites them further. Like, people don't understand the power of words. And that's the problem that I have with impeaching Trump. I believe that Trump needs to be impeached. He needs to stand accountable for what he really led people to believe they were capable of doing. Like, no good leader would actually, like, insinuate anything that would result in a siege on the Capitol. Mm-hmm. And anyone who thinks that that's okay in any regard, or they were standing for anything, I don't know what the fuck they were standing for.
They basically...
The lawmakers were trying to do what they're supposed to do. What the Constitution tells everyone that that's what's supposed to happen.
And they did.
Why are you overturning that process?
Well, because they
didn't believe in the process to begin with.
Oh yeah, no. They fully believed that that the election was rigged and that there was fraudulent votes cast and they weren't, you know...
My problem is the people who actually invaded and went inside and stole property and...
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, actually vandalized everything. It's a terrorist attack, and I don't know why they're not being federally charged.
And a lot of them, well, actually, I shouldn't even say a lot of them. All of them were walked out of the building. They were, you know, escorted out.
All of them were walked into the building.
Pretty much.
What the hell was about that?
It just, from what I could see, like videos and pictures I've seen, they did force their way through. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of...
They definitely broke in.
There wasn't a whole lot of resistance.
By the time there were enough people, it's one thing to be like, okay, well, there's nothing we can do about this, but to literally help people up and down the stairs and... No.
It was just absolute.
That's not your job. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about police enforcement, but I believe in protecting people, and if you're really there to protect people, you should not participate in any regard what's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
Unless it's actually against the law. Everyone there was against the law.
You walked into a courthouse with a automatic rifle, and your goal is to kill certain people or, you know, stop, you know, the democratic process. You are a terrorist. Like, you... And it blows my mind that they were not, you know, arrested. They were, like, no one died. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, a couple people died. Mostly from being trampled and maybe a few gunshots.
5 people died.
Okay, I didn't know the exact number.
5 people died, and I think they said someone was, like, stabbed or something like that. They were severely injured. It was, one report I had heard was 4 people dead and 1 severely injured or something like that.
And it's absolutely insane because you know damn right if it was any sort of, you know, Black Lives Matter movement or anything like that, there would have been, because even at peaceful protests there were people injured and even deaths. Like,
the problem I have, I don't disagree with you whatsoever with what you just said, because the problem the problem that I have is that people who tend to throw accusations are victims of those accusations themselves.
Right.
And you literally saw that with anti-maskers. You saw that with people at the Capitol. Like, I can't. Even with that video of that woman rubbing an onion on her face.
Oh yeah, you told me.
They pepper sprayed her. I saw the video. Like, I don't know.
She lied about what happened to her at a terrorist attack meant to stop people because they thought they were lying about the election.
It's all conspiracy. Look at that. What's her name? Marjorie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, man.
I'm very proud that they stripped her of her committees and stuff.
I remember when we first talked about this, you told me you were yelling into your phone and you just told me to come over because you didn't want to yell into your phone. And then we did not keep talking about that. So go on. I want to hear this.
Is
something else.
The epitome of a narcissist.
She thinks like and when she tried to like defend herself and explain like, oh, people took what I said out of context. Like, no,
not really.
No, they really didn't. You said these things. And yet people like that keep getting elected. So you got to think either the system is broken or there's a lot of dumbasses voting for dumb people. And it's this trait I've been seeing tossed around, Trumpism. Like people that idolize and align more with Donald Trump's beliefs and his way of doing things, his attitude. And Marjorie Taylor is one of his people. Like, there's a video of him saying, oh, I love her, she's amazing, she's so smart, she's so great. And of course, she's spouting off the same nonsense he would. It's just, she's insane. She thinks forest fires are caused by secret Jew lasers, like Jewish lasers.
She admitted that her information that she read on Facebook was inaccurate and tried to throw accusation at other people when literally people who were raised with the internet were told, don't believe everything you read on the internet because people create that stuff.
Right.
So you can't believe everything that you read or see. Like, we see that with TikTok now, with all the filters that they can do, and people stretch bodies to look like fucking dinosaurs and shit. Like, that shit is hilarious. But it's exactly that reason, and all these face filters that make women look so different. Like, I hate using those fucking filters because it's not my face. I look alien-like. It looks strange to me. Like, I don't like my face not looking like my face in a photo unless it's like an angle or you know what I mean, like something natural. Like, don't put a filter on my face, don't Photoshop it to look different. Like, throw some eyelashes and some lipstick on me, sure, like maybe freckles to like
give me some nice like werewolf eyes,
whatever.
Like give me a chiseled jaw, something.
Like, if you really want to like filter me up, like turn me into a werewolf. What would I look like with like fucking fangs?
Dude, I love those.
Like, cosplay me up if you want to filter me up.
I want to.
How badass would that be?
That'd actually be pretty bad.
Like, oh my god, how wicked of an app would that be?
See, these are the things we need to patent.
Like it's sort of like Bitmoji,
right?
But it's sort of like a character creation. Oh, I'm gonna have to work on this idea.
Okay.
But you add it on to existing apps like Snapchat so that you have like a wardrobe, like the Bitmoji wardrobe or whatever. But you can create like a different type of character, like an avatar or something. You know how you have like the body of the Bitmoji,
right? And
it's very, very general.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like super ornate and articulate. Like, oh, what the fuck was that game called? Like Diablo. Oh my god, I love like the costumes of the witch doctor.
Oh yeah, I love that game so much.
Yeah, the demon hunter and things like. Oh my god.
See, in those type of games, I'm always the sorcerer.
I don't know if I played the sorcerer.
All long range magic attacks. Raising the dead. Depends on which route you go. Or wait, no, sorry, that's a necromancer. That's a separate class. I love those type of games that let you pick what type of character, level up, get armor, stuff like that. Me and Mikey, whenever we play those type of games, he always plays the big bruiser, brawler type, and I'm always long distance, magic.
See, that's why those games are actually really, really brilliant, because they're very life like, if you think about it? Like, I believe when you have birthdays, you're, like, leveling up. Because you're supposed to be getting smarter as you get older. You're supposed to be learning things and adapting and evolving through your world. And, you know, like, no one really knows what their mission in life is and whatever they aspire to do and navigate to end up pursuing.
Right. That's why people use video games as a way to escape the world. You know, escapism.
Yeah, because it still feels like life. It's like watching, what's that fucking show called? Black Mirror?
Black Mirror.
Yeah, it's just like that with the virtual reality, and the guy was like having a relationship with the person in the game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And it really makes you think about this whole virtual world that we live in. And I think about watching Star Wars and the holographs and stuff. And I just have to wonder. I was watching a show about Afterlife. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. But they were reflecting on near-death experiences and how... Have you seen Soul? On Disney Plus.
Okay, so funny fact, my dad and I, we had it on Christmas, but we had it the sound was off and it was just subtitles, and me and my dad were he was forcing me to look at his high school yearbooks and see all the articles he was in, because that's how he is.
Okay.
So we kept looking at it and we would see bits and pieces of it, but throughout we're like, what the hell is going on in this movie? But I have heard really good things about it.
It's a great movie. I've seen it a couple times already, but the very first episode of the series, this woman was talking about kayaking down a white, what's it fucking called? Whitewater, kayaking.
Whitewater rafting.
Yes, but she was in a kayak, and she said this other person came whizzing down, and it caused her to have to veer off to the wrong direction, and she went down this fucking waterfall. Huge ass waterfall, and she was pinned under the water for so long that she died. She was dead basically, but she survived the experience. And when she explained what had happened, she had an outer body experience. Out of body experience. Yep. And it was very reminiscent of Soul. It was interesting because I'm curious to know where the concept of Soul actually came from, because I think it's a beautiful movie. I think it's really well done, because it makes me think about time travelers, or some really bizarre theories that people have had about past lives, or deja vu that they've never actually experienced. Because I've had deja vu before, where I've thought about an experience, and I feel like I've thought about a similar experience that I've had, but I haven't personally had, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's bizarre.
I'm one of those guys has deja vu. I'll have dreams,
right?
About, and then I'll actually live them. Not the next day, but of course, it could be days or weeks later, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I remember all of this.
And sometimes it's totally monotonous things, a fleeting conversation that you're having with someone, or
it could be the most random thing,
something about the environment. It's oh my god, I've been here before.
Right. Or it could just be your last save point in a video game right before you died, and then you have to respawn to your last save point. Which,
oh my god, that would be crazy.
Life is a mystery, because you don't know exactly. We could be living in a virtual world, for all we know. We could be in the Matrix.
I mean, they say it's a simulation. It's all nothing.
I really hope it's not like the Matrix, because that'd be fucking bad.
Yeah, that would suck.
If the world has to go out one way, I would see. My first thought is always zombie apocalypse, but then at the same time, I've watched Walking Dead and a lot of zombie movies, and I don't think the constant fear of like you always have to sleep with one eye open, you know, constantly looking for food, shelter, never feeling safe. Like, I think that would actually be terrible.
That would be
At first, it'd be great because, you know, zombie killing. But, you know, after a while, it's like, okay, now I want to go back to, you know, normal world, please.
But it also depends on what the type of zombie is, because there's lots of differentiations of zombie and lots of variations of what it means and different types and... You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Think about the different movies that have zombies, and the zombies behave differently, and they're different ticks and things like that. And to be realistic about it, I feel like it could incite rage, like 28 days.
Oh, God, yeah. No, like fast-moving ones like that.
That would be horrifying. But honestly, I don't know if anything like that would actually happen. I don't know if that is actually realistic.
I mean, did you remember years ago there were instances of zombies in Florida?
Bath salts?
Yeah.
Eating people's faces.
People that could take multiple gunshots and still keep going. People that were eating people's faces.
Did they ever explain what the fuck was happening?
They just said bath salts, a drug that, like, it was like PCP, but, like, way stronger. Like, they became numb, like they couldn't feel.
Were in a totally different state.
Yeah, but it's like, how can a drug literally make you strong enough to, like, just completely
because it's
overpower someone, eat their face, take bullet wounds?
It's a total fucking something that's not supposed to go in your system, probably. Clearly, if you are so insensitive to that stuff and not aware of the things your human body is doing, that's horrifying. You know, like, that's not the kind of experience that I would want. No. And that's probably not going to be an experience that ends well. You know what I mean? Like, clearly that person probably did not survive.
Oh, no, like, he died. Like, they unloaded 2 clips into him. Like, a dude even took a shotgun.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like, people... And, like, there were just multiple reports of people, like, having these episodes, and people were thinking, like, oh God, is a zombie apocalypse about to start? Like, are these the first signs?
And it was just, like, centralized to Florida?
Yeah, mainly around Florida, but then I heard, like, cases were popping up around the U.S., but, like, a few states here and there, but then all of a sudden, yeah, it just died out.
Yeah, that sounds like a drug. That sounds like something that was, like, really, really bad.
Or maybe it was the beginning of the zombie apocalypse.
Like a bad batch or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we stopped it before it spread enough.
Who the fuck knows?
That would be insane.
That would be insane. Maybe it was maybe bath salts or a cover-up.
It could very well be. See,
things to research. I remember hearing about that shit. Just like Marjorie says, oh, 9/11 happened. I mean, 9/11 did happen. Like, what you mean to say is, because you have to admit the towers fell. 9/11 happened. They're gone. Like, people died. Like, it's very evident. But to talk about the conspiracies and things like this, it's so troubling to talk about and, like, dig up dirt like this because of the fact that it affects so many people's lives still yet today. Like, the greatest thing about uncovering old-time conspiracies is the fact that people are gone. It's easier to bring out to the public, but if you don't deal with it sooner, you don't have the people to investigate with, and sometimes I don't know if that's always the best idea. Like, maybe we shouldn't know. Maybe some things just we shouldn't know.
It's... I'm a big fan of a good conspiracy theory.
Honestly, though, there's something in me that tells me that 9/11 was just not right.
Oh, no. There's so much evidence to proves that there was a lot of really coincidental things surrounding that incident. And it's a shitty thing to think about. You know, we have no idea if the world, you know, the government, or, you know, is just controlled by the Illuminati or people outside, you know, people that we can't even fathom.
I got into a fucking spin one night on YouTube about the Illuminati and how it's trickled into the music industry and
Go on.
Like that's why Michael Jackson is gone.
Oh yeah.
How, like Beyonce and Jay-Z are like the power couple of the music industry or something like that, and like the undertone meanings in people's music videos. And I mean, that's I think part of what Marjorie's talking about with like Satanism and things like this. Like, religion's religion, man.
Very true. And I've looked into Satanism, and you know, it's honestly like I feel like there's no good way to say this because there's always going to be somebody that's going to get upset about this. But like the tenets, you know, for Satanism aren't honestly bad. It's just, you know, it's pretty much like you love who you want to love. You know, don't treat others disrespectfully if they treat you with kindness. You know, it's really surprising. And I would read
the tenets of Satanism.
You know what? Probably a good idea if you looked it up, because I don't want to butcher it. And if you guys are wondering, no, I'm not a Satanist. I'm just saying, like, their tenets aren't bad, and as we'll see. Maybe it wasn't the tenets of the...
Wow, there are a lot of websites. How about the satanictemple.com?
Sick. That is the satanictemple.com. .org.
.com.
.edu.
Shut up. The mission of the Satanic Temple is to encourage benevolence and empathy, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense, oppose injustice, and undertake noble pursuits. That sounds like something I could get down with.
See? It doesn't sound bad.
I've actually heard nothing but good things about the Satanic Temple.
Oh yeah, I heard, like, you know, during the time where like a lot of people were, gay marriage was becoming more and more like, we demand this. A lot of the Satanic Temples were like, you know what? Yeah, come get, you know, married here. And I will admit, those temples look pretty badass.
Okay, there are 7 fundamental tenets.
All right, here we go.
1 should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures in accordance with reason. 2, the struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. 3, one's body is inviolable.
Invaluable.
I have never heard of this word. I don't know what that is. Phil, can you look this up, please?
I can, because I'm recording.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll remember this. We'll figure it out.
Define. Thank you, Google.
See, Google is so great.
Inviolable.
Thank you,
Never
Google.
to be broken, infringed, or dishonored.
See? So basically, that just said, my body, like your body is a temple. Don't let anybody, don't anybody disrespect it.
So 3, one's body is inviolable. Subject to one's own will alone.
My body, my rules.
4, the freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. To willfully and unjustly encroach.
In Papa Roach.
To willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own. 5, beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. See, scientific.
Yeah, don't, just because someone told you it doesn't mean it's real.
One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's beliefs.
Oh man, don't cherry pick.
Wow. 6. People are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might have been caused.
Basically, if you do something stupid and you didn't realize you did something stupid, let me educate you so it doesn't happen again.
And own up to it.
Yeah,
you have to own up to it to be able to rectify it.
Exactly.
All right, and 7. Every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word.
So basically, be smart in your situation and just do your best. I think that's a pretty solid translation. See, like, not bad.
I'm gonna have to read into this. This is incredible.
Yeah, like those based off those 7 tenets. I didn't read anything bad in there. Did you? Like anything?
I mean, those are all kind of like moral codes that I like fundamentally have as a person.
Right. That's the same thing I thought when I read them. I was like, okay, wow. I can relate to this.
My mind's a little blown right now. It's incredible.
See, I tried like bringing this up at a family get-together once.
No shit.
Yeah, and they immediately shut me down. Like, don't talk about it.
Oh my god.
Don't talk. I'm like, but
that's crazy.
It's positivity, and they're like, no, just don't bring it up. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess. That's why we can't have conversations in this family. I'm just kidding, but yeah, like. I don't know. I love how all the topics... I'm trying to think of all the topics we just ran through in about 50 minutes.
Oh, I have a topic for you. Let me read off something that I sent to a friend of mine.
Okay.
I think it's rather poetic. I said, long story short, women are constantly attacked in our world society. When a woman stands up for herself, she's not deemed as strong and willful. She's perceived as overreactive and intolerant, but really, men are intolerant of being put in their place, thinking inwardly, and not like the world is against them. Playing the victim to guilt women into exploitation. And then it grows into the more political side, and the problem just gets worse. And I have to wonder if the men of our generation maybe just don't have good role models to look up to. And then they inflict their pain on women who are already an oppressed audience.
I like that.
Because tell me a man that said, I don't need no woman.
Well, first off, that's disrespectful.
I mean, there are a lot more disrespectful things because a girl has every reason to say, I don't need no man. So, I have never heard a man say, I don't need no woman. I'm a grown-ass man. I can do what I want. You know, I've never heard of a man owning his own fucking confidence. That's my fucking problem. Like, no offense to you whatsoever, because what I'm about to say refers to previous boyfriends, but I've really never dated anyone that has genuine confidence. Like, not the type of confidence that I have in myself, that I've developed and learned as per all of my past experience and stuff, you know? Like, that's what I focused on for the entire year I was dancing burlesque. That's what Kat taught in her studio, was the practice of self-love. And with it came such graceful, like, confidence that I really didn't realize I always knew I had, but maybe didn't really know how to express. And I have found outlets that inspire me so greatly that I actually envision myself doing things in my future, like actually dancing professionally, maybe. Like I do dream about that club, that lounge. I really do. I think a wicked fucking name for a club would be the Red Room. And I have the perfect inspiration.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
My bedroom is red.
I mean, yeah, it's red. A lot of lights.
Oh, I love
jewelry.
lights.
A lot of
Jewelry.
I mean stones. A lot of whatever that is in the corner there.
I've never heard of decor called jewelry.
I don't know. It was the first word that came to mind when I saw that.
That's interesting.
What would you call that?
Decor.
Well, shit, you're right. Okay, decor. Decor. When you say a word enough times, it just sounds weird.
When you copy and paste it a bunch of times, it also looks weird.
Oh, man. So it's almost been an hour of recording this.
Because we know how to conversate.
We do.
Is conversate a word? I
Converse?
say it a lot.
Conversate? I want to say it exists, but...
Huh. Conversate is a word.
Nailed it.
Engage in conversation.
We are good at that.
I am good at that.
Hey.
I'm the one that said it.
I mean, yeah, you said the word, but did you know that batten is a type of word?
Shut the fuck up. Wood. Type of wood.
I'll throw that attitude at me. I'll throw it back. That's hilarious, though. But I think that's a pretty good stopping point because we're almost at an hour. What do you think?
Sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening.
Holy shit, it's -1 outside.
Yeah, did you hear... Okay, before we get off here, the next 4 days is just going to be anywhere from below -5 to below -17.
Yeah, I saw it was supposed to get really
for the next
cold
couple
overnight.
days.
Oh,
so
God, I'm not excited for this.
Yeah, no. Luckily, I work from home, and I went grocery shopping, so I am set.
I turned my heat up.
Yeah,
I have a really good winter coat.
It is cold as shit in my apartment right now. This honestly feels like a godsend.
I have a blanket at work.
Lucky.
And mittens, like fingerless gloves.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are they emo?
Of course they're emo. They're from fucking Hot Topic. Of course they are.
Well, thank you guys so much once again, and we'll get another one of these out.
Goodbye.
Bye.